Slide number 5, Vocabulary Review. Directions. Use the vocabulary terms from the list to complete the sentences. Type your answers in the gray boxes. Our word bank says regroup, sum, estimate, factors, decimals, difference, rounding, digit, product, addends, zeros, whole numbers. Number 1. Before adding or subtracting decimals, blank the answer by blank the decimals to numbers that are easier to mentally add or subtract. Number 2. When adding two decimals, line up the blank at the decimal point to find the correct blank. Number 3. When lining up decimals to add or subtract, it may be necessary to annex one or more blank as placeholders so that each place has a blank. Number 4. When subtracting two decimals, it may be necessary to blank to find the correct blank. Number 5. When multiplying two decimals, treat the blank as blank. Number 6. To place the decimal point in a blank, use the sum of the decimal places in the blank. Really helpful is our mathematics dictionary up here, which I'm going to click on and show you again. I would suggest looking up every word that we've got in that word bank. Our first one is regroup, which starts with R. I'm going to go down here until I see regroup. So R-E-G, regrouping. Regrouping, our definition is moving an amount, usually 10, from one part of a calculation to another, so it is easier to do the calculation. Our example is 32 minus 15. We have 32 minus 15. Well, I can't do 2 minus 5, so I need to regroup. In doing so, I take 10 away from this spot. This becomes a 2, and I'm adding 10 to this 2 that was already here. It becomes a 12. Now I can do 12 minus 5 and get 7, and 2 minus 1 and get 1. The next word in our word bank is sum. So I'm going to click on S, scroll down until I find sum, S-U-M, over here on the right. Sum, the result of adding two or more numbers. So this sum is the answer to an addition problem. Then we have estimate. Estimate starts with E. E-S-T is what we're looking for right here. Estimate. To find a value that is close enough to the right answer, usually with some thought or calculation involved. So if I have two numbers, Alex estimated there were 10,000 sunflowers in the field by counting one row, then multiplying by the number of rows. We're estimating because we would not actually count how many sunflowers were in this field. Our next word is factors. Going to go to F, and then I need F-A-C. F-A-C, oh, it's the second one right here, factor. Numbers we can multiply together to get another number. For instance, if I have 2 times 3 equals 6, the 2 and the 3 are my factors, the two things I am multiplying. Then we have decimals. Back to D. D-E-C, decimal. A decimal is based on 10. For example, the numbers we use in everyday life are decimal numbers because they are based on 10 digits. We have all the numbers from 0 to 9 included. A decimal number is often used to mean a number that uses a decimal point followed by digits that show a value smaller than 1. For example, we have 45.6. That's a decimal number. We have 40 plus 5 plus 6 tenths because the 6 is in the tenths place. I'm going to pause our video here and come back with the remainder of the words and their definitions.